Hey, what's up, guys? Node investor here. $100 billion market cap. So I know what the next question is. Is it too late to invest? Did I miss the boat on cryptocurrencies? So this is part two to a video I did a few weeks back talking about is it too late? So I'm going to take a quick look at market cap, where I think cryptocurrencies are going. And if you're interested, a couple of ways to get started, how I set up my portfolio, and some things I'd be looking at for the longer term. Let's take a quick look at the markets. So, $100 billion. So I did a contest. A few of you guys nailed it. June 5th or June 6th, I was looking at all the guesses coming in thinking, you guys are way too optimistic. My guess was June 20th. But market super strong. Bitcoin decided to rally, pushed it over the edge. Ethereum, $262. So incredible. Now, remember the rules. I said first person to guess would be the winner of one LITECOIN. Several of you guessed the right date, so I'm going to give that first person that guessed 1.0 LITECOIN. So go into the last video, enter your address below your original comment. And if you also guessed the right date, whether it was the 5th or the 6th, I know there was some time zone issues there, put your LITECOIN address in there. I might give you guys something, a little something as well. I'm feeling generous today, so go ahead and do that. So $100 billion. Let's take a look at the market here. Bitcoin 2864, powering higher, all-time highs. Ethereum $263. Dash right at 138. Litecoin sitting right at $30. Monero $53 Monero. Ripple 28 cents. Ethereum Classic sitting tight, $17.16. Pivx sliding back a little bit, $1.47. Zcash pretty strong here, $2.58. Factom. Have you guys been watching Factom? Oh, Factom $32. NEM 22 cents, and Stellar Lumens 4.3 cents. So is it too late to invest in Bitcoin? I mean, you look at these charts, right? Bitcoin just $1,000 back in April, and now it's almost $3,000. Ethereum went from 40 to $264. Litecoin was at 14, now it's at 30, and you just see this time and time again, and there's no doubt we are in a raging cryptocurrency bull market. And could Bitcoin pull back at any moment? Absolutely. I mean, it could pull back and it could, go down to 2,000, down to 1,800. I mean, who knows, right? But even with all the people calling Bitcoin a bubble and cryptocurrencies a bubble, they're not going away, guys. Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology is here to stay. Now, you may not agree with that, and I'm not saying Bitcoin is not going to come down. It could come down and it could go into maybe a little bit of a long-term flattening correction. Who knows, right? But beyond Bitcoin, beyond Ethereum, there are tons of innovations coming out. Some you may have never even heard of, some that are not even on the radar yet, but I guarantee you, even if Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other ones pull back, there are going to be tons of opportunities in the cryptocurrency space because we are very early on in this technology being adopted mainstream. I mean, most people have probably heard of Bitcoin by now, but just go ask your friends, ask your neighbors, ask people randomly, hey, what do you think about Ethereum? What do you think about Litecoin or Ripple or Dash or Monero or anything? Stratus. They're going to give you the blank stare. This is not mainstream yet, guys. Not even close. So is it too late to invest in cryptocurrencies? No way. Not by a long shot. Are they going to pull back here? Could they pull back at any time? Absolutely. And just like anything else, when you invest, don't invest money that you need for next week for an emergency, or you need it for surgery in 2 weeks. I mean, be rational, guys. I mean, this is risk. Investing is risky. If you need the money tomorrow, don't invest it. I mean, you're looking at some of these stories and you're thinking, oh, I'll just buy the next Ripple and it's going to 10x in a month. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it goes down 90%, right? So you have to be willing to risk that. Be smart, looking into it. I did a video on how to research potential cryptocurrencies. You don't just buy because the chart's going up. Look at the project, look at the developers, do some research on it. But my point is, cryptocurrencies here, it's going to be strong for a long time. The way I like to put it is, we're basically where the internet was in the early 90s. We're getting started. And even if there is a big crash, things will eventually bottom out, and there's going to be winners, and there's going to be those that stick around for the long term and just continue to power ahead, and there's going to be new ones that you've never even heard of yet that show up on the scene and do another 10x, 20x, 30x. So stay with it, guys. Let's take a look at some ideas here that I'm looking at. So new innovations, right? So some of the things I would be looking at would be, let's go to the coin market cap, right? So obviously, if you're just getting started, and it doesn't matter how much, if you only have $100 to invest, or if you have $1,000 or 10, if you're just getting started, it's not going to hurt to buy some of these biggies, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Ripple. I mean, this is the core holdings that I have right now, and I'll go into my portfolio overview right now as far as how to get that set up. And then, depending on how much you're investing, if it's more than a couple $100, then maybe you can buy 3 or 4. Don't buy a ton of them though. Don't spread your money across 20 different cryptocurrencies. You want to find a few that you really believe in, research, learn about them, and make it more of a long-term thing. Now, this is different from trading, and I'll touch on that here in a little bit. But there's other things to look at, right? There's platforms. You've seen Stratus come up recently, and there's going to be more of these, I guarantee you. Then there's the privacy coins. One of those is going to win out, guys, or a couple of them are. Dash is in that camp, Monero's in that camp, Zcash is in that camp, Pivx. Do some research. If you like one or two of those, go with one of those. The blockchain distributed computing, right? Golem, MadeSafe, one of those are going to win out, right? The distributed storage, Siacoin, storage, and there's others. And so there's different segments of the cryptocurrency market that goes beyond just currency, just dollars and using it as a currency replacement. They're going to have different functions and different markets. There's speed, there's transaction time, there's a lot of things. And so look at those, and that'd be something I'm looking at more for longer term, right? Some kind of spreading out the portfolio across different things other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So different platforms, different markets that they're going after. So that's what I'd be looking at. So here's how I would set up my portfolio if I were getting started. So again, keep in mind, this really depends on how much you're going to invest. If all you have is $100 or a couple $100, right? Maybe just buy 1 or 2 and then just hold it, right? And so that'd be your core holdings. And the way this chart works is the further up you go up the pyramid, the higher risk, and they're all risky, but some of them are going to be higher risk than others. And so in the core holdings, you want maybe 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies that'll represent 50%, maybe up to 70% of your portfolio. So this could be like Bitcoin or Ethereum or something that you really believe long term, and you're going to put a big chunk into those 1 or 2. Then the next level up would be your medium risk stuff. You could have 2 to 3 of these, and maybe this represents 20% to 40% of your total holdings. And this could be not as longer term, or maybe you're not as sure about, but you see the way it looks, maybe you like it, maybe you've done some research, you're looking at the technical analysis, it looks like it's setting up nicely. You can kind of heavyweight a little bit of these, right? So I'm just throwing out examples here, but this could be like a LITECOIN, or something that's setting up nicely, or maybe a Stratus or something, right? And then at the very top, you're going to have maybe 4 or 5, and that's a lot. So you're only going to have this if you're holding a larger portfolio, but this will only represent 10, maybe 20% of your total holdings. And this will be more short-term or high speculative, maybe a very young project that you're going to throw a little bit at and say, hey, this might double, triple, 10x, and then at that point, it'll become more of a larger part of your portfolio. But you just never know with some of the smaller, younger ones, right? So this could be a new ICO, or it could be something that you're seeing that's, you know, pennies, and maybe it's going up to 3 cents or 5 cents, right? So that's typically how I approach it. Is I have the core holdings that are, you know, anywhere from 50%, sometimes more. And you know, things move around between the buckets. If I see the market getting a little crazy, I might lighten up this short-term spec area very much to like 5%, and then I might move down to the core. Or if I see Ethereum setting up real nicely and some of the other ones aren't really working out, I'll move those funds back into Ethereum or Bitcoin and ride that next pop up. And so that's how you want to do it. And so kind of break it down into these three areas. Here's an example, right? So, and these are round numbers. It's never going to be this perfect, but you know, maybe Bitcoin 25% and Ethereum 30%. This represents, you know, good 25, 50, or excuse me, 50, 60% of your portfolio. Then you have the next level up, the medium risk. That could be like maybe a LITECOIN or a Zcash, something you're looking at a little more seriously. And then you have a few that are going to represent smaller percentage of the portfolio, right? Maybe a Digibyte or a Sia coin or a Ubic, something really new. And this is, you know, typically, and I've been in this a little longer, and I have a little bit larger portfolio. But when I was first starting out, no way did I ever hold 8 or 10 cryptocurrencies. It was generally concentrated into what I believe the top 2 or 3 were, and you could probably guess what those were. Now over time, you know, once the portfolio starts to grow a little bit, then you can start to spread a risk around. And you know, there's been times where the weightings change. Like when I saw Litecoin setting up, and I did the video on that a few months ago, you know, I had some pretty good convictions about where I thought Litecoin was going, and temporarily Litecoin was worth way more than many of the other portions of the portfolio. So that's, you know, there's room for that kind of adjustment. But the point is, if you have a large portfolio, it's okay to spread it out across several using that kind of tiered method. If you have a smaller portfolio, you know, smaller dollar amounts, don't use this many. Just pick a handful, pick, you know, 2 or 3 that you're really convicted about, and just kind of get started, right? Get a feel for it, get a feel for watching the market, looking at the charts, and as you learn more, then you can keep putting more and more into it. So going back to the website, want to share some news with you guys. If you're just getting started, you probably already aware that I published a cryptocurrency 101 course that's been out for about a week now. It's 2.5 hours of video, shows you the basics on how to get started, exchanges, wallets, all that good stuff. And I just released an early bird buy for the technical analysis course. I know some of you guys have been waiting for that, and that's available now for $30 temporarily. Once I finish the few remaining videos that I'm going to include with this course, price will go back up to $40, just like the 101 course. So that's available now if you guys want to take advantage of that early pricing. The full content will be released in the next couple of days, and it'll remain at this price through the end of the week. So just wanted to share that. If you're not getting the newsletter, go to the homepage, noteinvestor.com. And right there on the homepage, you can sign up for the newsletter. That's free. You'll get my alerts. You'll get some commentary that I post once a week or so, and anything else I'm looking at. So appreciate you guys subscribing and sticking with me. I'll keep you guys posted. Till next time, take care.